Hello. Welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Terryn.
I'm Callie.
And we're here to talk about all things Law and Order SVU, the mothership, organized crime, fanfic writing, and more. Um, we kind of just decided we were gonna record the next day. But I don't think anything's happened. I think it's just Mariska was at a film festival for my mom Jane in LA. Somebody posted some pictures, but um, that's the only thing that I think really happened in the past couple of
Yeah, I
days.
think that's it.
My mom Jane is very good. If you haven't gone and watch it, you really should. Um, I think that's it. So moving on.
The mothership cast did like a video, and apparently, like they said that Hugh shows up to rehearsal in full costume and makeup, and then everyone was like, he looks different.
Or like,
Which is
you
kind of
have it.
funny.
Yeah, because I didn't notice it. So anybody said they were like,
Yeah, I
oh,
didn't
and
notice
then I
it.
looked at it again and went, oh. It was like somebody did not tell you that your foundation is too dark. Somebody didn't tell him that his foundation was too dark
Like, well,
because you're supposed to match your foundation to your neck and your hands versus your actual face. Because if you don't, they don't blend correctly, and then it's very obvious. But anyway, it was like, oh, well now I noticed. Anyway,
yeah.
so this,
What is it? I'm so
so
curious what it's gonna be. Like, if he's gonna do anything, or if he's just gonna leave it, or how does he even care? Probably
yeah,
not.
probably not. But oh well. So the episode is called. I had the wrong title last time when we talked this. So apparently that was still wasn't the title. So the title was White Lies, and I think some kind of way we got a little mixed up or something. But I think I said Bend the Knee, but I don't know what episode Bend the Knee is, but I think it's one of them. So it's called White Lies. So at the beginning of the episode, there's this like guy being interviewed on the news. He's an investor. He's saying that he like cares about the little guy, teachers and other people. He names teachers, doctors, nurses, blah blah blah, saying that like he really cares about those kind of people. And he's a capitalist, but he does care about. He says cares about money a lot, but he says he cares about the greater good, which is very important for later. And then there's that scene, and then there's a woman getting in a cab. It's one of those fancy cabs that have a TV in it, the real fancy ones.
They have
But
they have that. That's a thing.
apparently they do. Okay, this one had TV in it. This lady, she gets in the car and she sees the like interview happening on the screen, and she like turns the volume down because obviously she doesn't want to hear him. Um, and then the cab guy is like talking, he's about ready to drive, because she just got in the car, he's about to drive, and then next thing you know, a body hits the windshield of the car, and then that's the opening. You know how the body's just kind of
So Taryn is gonna do the first half because I was working because
yeah.
I
So
stupidly said I would work. So
you didn't miss the summary. I can summarize it rather quickly. It wasn't like super detailed that you figured out. So then they found out this guy. His name is Thomas Harriman. He's 53. They found his wallet, and they found out he lives like next to the not the millionaires row. I think he lived next to that. So he's like not the super richest, but the next closest to the super richest. And then they go talk to his wife, and his wife says they've been separated for 3 months, so she doesn't really like know too much about him apparently. Um, she says he's an activist investor, so he like buys shares and stuff to like criticize the system. That's what he says, which is like something I never thought about before to this episode. But she says he has a girlfriend named Ariana, and she's a professor at Hudson. And nothing good ever happens at Hudson, so you should stay away from these bloods. But anyway, and then they go talk to Ariana's ex, who is an author. He's a life coach. Oops, I bumped the microphone. He's a life coach, and he basically says that like Tom was like paying the divorce lawyer, like helping her pay the divorce lawyer so they could be together. And he kind of talks about how like there's ferocious honesty about how like being super honest about things isn't always good. Then Riley kind of says like something about like he and his wife had separated for a bit, but then they worked it out. I don't know when this happens. He just says I don't know if it was like before the show or during the break. Anyway, he kind of just says that. Um, So then they find this video. Violet finds this video of Tom's being beat up by a guy, and it's a nurse who works at Mercy Hospital. His name is Carlos Guzman, and they bring him. They got to chase him. Blah blah. They got to chase him, and then he comes in. He says like the hospital has had budget cuts, so they don't have enough supplies for like nurses or patients. They said like a young dad who's maybe like 28 died because they didn't have enough ventilators, and like they didn't have like PPE equipment, for nurses. Like during COVID, the big like suits that the nurses were wearing. Yeah, they didn't have any of those. And they're all because of Tom. They're because of Tom's budget cuts. And then they go talk.
That's the guy that died, right?
Yeah, Tom is the guy who died. So then they go talk to. He's invested in a company called WellPoint Therapeutics, and they found out that he was arguing with the CEO Norman Mudson. Need some water. Okay. So then the assistant who works there says like Tom doesn't care about people and maybe thinks someone else did it. So then they go talk to this guy named Preston Kane, who's the like one of the chairman on the thing, and said like Munson, this guy, he really believes in the greater good. And then he says basically you got a text from Tom saying, I finally have what I need. Your Munson is a goner. So then they're like, oh. But then they go see another guy who had been recently fired from the company. He says like Hardiman had his plans ready to like fire Mudson, and they had the next guy picked out. They were ready to keep going with this thing. And initially they think Munson did it, who's the CEO of the company. But he's like 70, so they're like, there's no way this 70-year-old man pushed this guy in front of a car.
I
mean, it's not impossible, but it wasn't likely. It wasn't. I don't feel like I'm censored. But so then they go to, they have all the evidence they need, and they go switch to our law side of things, and no one's on the phone. This is a scene that we think we kind of talked about last week. We didn't realize
we thought it was in this episode,
but it was
last episode, and it was in this one, and for whatever reason.
Yeah. So then he is on the phone and he's kind of talking, and then he's like smiling and he says something, kind of nice, and then he hangs up. And then Sam walks by and says, like, you got no poker face.
Who is it?
Exactly. You're smitten. And then he says, the mystery woman. She obviously knows there's a mystery woman, but like he says she's a psychiatrist. And I'm like, made me think about, did they switch the episodes? It seems like they might have switched
because I told you that the
yeah,
I was looking up the episodes earlier. It seemed like they mixed it up.
Yeah, it seems like they mixed it up. Either they mixed it up or Sam just doesn't know that they're dating. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, but really crushing my no lamb heart here.
Yeah,
but okay.
Wait.
Seriously. Yeah, and then so then they go talk. Nolan goes talk to the judge and the defense. And the defense says they violated the privacy of the guy because they took the DNA from his lab. So they said, and they're like, the defense is like, this opens the door for a lot of cases like this, and that's bad. So the judge is like, fine, DNA's out. And I would not issue a warrant for you to get more. So, they have no DNA. So now it's time for the trial. So then Kevin Goodall, who is the guy that the guy they fired, he says like the defense, the guy who the names are a little confusing here. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. But
people for whatever reason.
Yeah, but I think Goodall, yeah, he's the one who actually did it. Yeah. I think I got some stuff mixed up, but it's okay. But they find out, they say like, Kevin Goodall was very rich, so like, why would he need to get this guy fired? He wasn't losing anything from this, so like that doesn't make sense. But then they find out that he is at that Norman goes to a memory care facility for people with dementia. So he's 70 years old. He's at a dementia care facility, and basically Hardiman and Goodall knew that the signs of dementia were there, and they were like covering it up because you'll find out in a moment why they were covering it up. So then they go find out that the wife, Mrs. Goodall, was going to this like place, this like hospital place, children's hospital kind of place, and they found out that the company was like helping with trial experiment drugs for what's Batten's disease. So because Batten disease, it causes seizures, blindness, and able to move and speak, and eventually the child will die. This is the like
Madness.
mortality rate is like 98%. Like 2% of children who get this like actually live past like 10. But like Nolan and Sam go there, and like they don't want to talk to Mrs. Gall, but she doesn't want to talk to them.
We had seen this in the promo that they visited this facility, so we're like, oh great, now we're gonna get the sad stuff.
Yep. Like,
and it was kind of like it was kind of depressing. Nolan was trying to, Nolan of course was trying to talk to the wife.
yeah.
And was focusing on the case. And meanwhile, Sam is getting down on the kids' level. It's like trying to talk to them. She sees one of the little girls and she's like, "Hi, sweetie, what's your name?" The little girl doesn't speak because she has Batten's disease. We find out that it is Goodall's daughter that has the disease. And it says that according to what the girl doesn't walk or talk. She's had seizures, blindness, and is unable to move and speak, and will eventually die.
Yeah. So this disease is fatal for children. It tends to develop around 6 years old, they said, and eventually, like they don't. It's like there's no like early warning signs. This happens. It just kind of happens. So then they found out that basically Hardiman's wanted funding to go other places, like not rare diseases, because that's not very profitable. But stuff with bigger markets. They said like diabetes, some other stuff that's more like common, so they can make more money off of it. Essentially,
Goodall wasn't happy about that because if the funding went away, then it would be less funding to help try to find a cure for his daughter. So, yeah, guy pretty much killed him for that. Which hell, I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's basically because when he gets back on, they get on the stand. They go back to trial again. He says, somebody says, I can't remember who. Says so if Munson had been removed, it would have been a de facto death sentence for his daughter.
Because Munson actually cared about this stuff.
Yeah.
We do find out that they do Sam and Nolan are talking, and then they bring up Biden, and they're like, should people who are like in older mental capacities be in charge? And Sam was like, is it really our place to freaking announce his diagnosis?
Dementia. Dementia kind of thing. So then they kind of talk about, let's offer him a plea deal, because if they go to trial, he's gonna get charged with, murder too. So
the defense is like, no, we're taking to trial. Like nobody's gonna put him in jail because of what he did for his daughter.
Yeah, basically, they kind of. I don't think we've talked. I think they talked to Baxter again, and Baxter. I mean, no one kind of talks about how his dad. We the episode with his father. Was one of the episodes in the show, so we like know that his father had like really
struggling with things.
A lot of things. It wasn't fair to prolong the inevitable. It was like the episode about that. But he talked about his father having dementia and how like in the morning time he could remember stuff, but then when the afternoon came he couldn't like remember stuff.
And that's important because then the defense is like, no, we're not taking this deal. Nolan, literally in the most cocky son of a bitch way I thought he could ever freaking talk, goes, "Oh, I already told the judge I have a scheduling conflict in the morning. So we'll be calling him in the early afternoon. I hope he won't be too tired."
And I was like,
this
is not nice.
Supposed to be on the good people's side.
Exactly. He only cares about justice.
That's not nice.
No, it's not nice. That TikTok is fair. That post is hilarious. I'll send that to you about Hello Kitty on adventure. But anyway,
Like, dude, that's not nice.
yeah,
Sam's kind of just
like,
sitting there
like,
like,
why would you do that?
what
Like,
are you doing?
you're just trying to win here. You're not trying to play fair.
So yeah,
So
they
then,
do indeed bring up this guy.
yeah, they put him on the stand.
They put him on the stand, and Nolan
And,
is like asking like questions about like how he got here. Does he know what he does? And the defense is like, Judge, we've been doing this for an hour.
yeah,
Why are we still
he's stalling for more
discussing this?
time. Because they asked what kind of car he drove, and he named some kind of like older vehicle that obviously he's not driving anymore. And they're like,
Yeah, and
"Oh,
he's like, because he's like, oh, we would drive it in the summer with the
the top
top
down."
now.
And we're like, "Oh," and he says something like "we," and no one's like, "We."
He's like, do you remember that? And no one's like,
Like,
no.
no.
Um,
So then they're kind of like he's
and
starting to
then he
slip up.
goes into be like, how did you like the guy literally is falling into like a dementia episode. And literally this whole time I'm like, Nolan, what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly, it's not very not
Honey,
nice
I
here.
know it's for a case, but we don't need to fucking make old people sad.
Exactly, we don't have to do that. That's not very nice of you.
Yeah, so well, them doing that, the defense
It's
immediately was
like
like,
it's like
okay,
let's instead we'll take the plea
let's
deal.
put this deal now, because apparently you're freaking doing this
Exactly, because
for whatever reason. It was like literally the whole time I was like, Nolan, knock it off.
it's not very nice of you.
Wait, every time we keep trying to give this guy the benefit of the doubt,
You do something that is
he
not
does
nice.
this.
We're like, you're not very nice, Nolan. You need to stop it.
Your white man is showing.
Exactly, like stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. Um, so yeah, the husband takes the deal for
Mm-hmm.
15 to 20 years. The wife is still devastated, and she tries to like talk to her husband as he's being walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And because now it's like, yes, the daughter will still be getting the care she needs,
But
but
she
like
won't have her dad.
her dad might die. She might die while her dad's in prison.
Yeah.
Um, and then Nolan and Sam were talking, and they said, well, he was willing to. Nolan says he was willing to give up his whole life for
Mm-hmm.
her. He sacrificed himself for her daughter, his
Mm-hmm.
daughter. He was willing to give up his whole life for the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
And then that
That's
episode
him.
ended. Yeah. Not the best one. I give it a 3.
Oh man, I forgot to. I was trick or treating on Hello Kitty after we finished.
Wait, what?
I did trick or treating on Hello Kitty today.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't bad.
Yeesh.
It was okay. Where's my controller? It was just all right. So the
Yeah.
next one is called 2 and 20. I think allegedly. I could be getting these all wrong, but I'm pretty certain it's 2 and 20.
I don't know what the 2 or the 20 means.
I don't know either. We'll find out. It says a billionaire banker is murdered, and the 2-7 must investigate his many clients and employees. Price and Maroon struggle to keep the jury's focus on the crime and not the victim's darker side. Oh, he's like a million, but he's abusive to his employees. You know, somebody had enough. So they're trying to figure out, did he deserve it?
Or was it murder?
Exactly, because was a horrible. It looks like in the clip they show in trials, like he slaps one of his employees. Like he's one of those people. So like it doesn't look like it's going too well for this guy getting justice for him because nobody likes him. But fortunately, that's not a reason to murder. See, of course, that's what they have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so SVU, which I like this one, a vicious circle.
It was a lot going on at once.
It was. It felt like how they. And there's somebody's kind of said if maybe it wasn't me, but like someone else has said like it felt like one of like those like open and shut episodes where like the twists and turns. It felt like a Law and Order. It didn't feel. It's a very interesting idea that happened, which I think this whole thought line is interesting because I never heard of it before. Um, but it's called A Vicious Circle. So I think this one.
So, yes, let's do this because then I can finally freaking mention Wicked and it actually be related.
Okay, so A Vicious Circle. So Bruno and Griffin are walking. They have to go get some DNA from a guy to like see if he's a suspect in this case. This for this victim. And Griffin's just kind of grossed out by the thought of like this is
Collecting DNA, or as he
yeah.
literally calls it, crotch milk.
Yeah, he does say that. Yeah, but so you get what we're saying this is, and it's very awkward.
I'm not going into detail. That's all
Yeah,
you're getting.
you all can figure it out. You know what it is, okay? You're very smart people.
And
When
Bruno wasn't
he was like, you wouldn't say this if it was blood or saliva. So get it together.
So he was pretty much like, so grow up and pretend it's tiny scales of justice you're holding.
Which is true.
And I was like, that's a great way to think of it.
Yeah. So then they were walking, and then boom,
And then all of a sudden, boom,
bomb explodes, and
bomb
they're right
explodes.
underneath. They see
Debris falls on them.
yeah.
Bruno immediately calls it in, and they both go inside to help rescue people.
Yeah, which is good. That's what they're for. They're the police. And there's as the people are helping people, there's a sign that says Roosevelt Fertility Clinic. So then they're getting the people out, and the ambulances arrive and stuff. So Olivia comes to the scene. She's talking to a woman. Talking to a woman in the ambulance. Making sure like you're okay. Any motive you might think of this could happen, stuff like that. So then this woman walks up, Dr. Mukherjee. And she's like, "This is my clinic, let me." She's at the police station. They'd be like, "You can't let people in." But
he's like, "What happened?" And Olivia's like, "I think somebody might have thought that your clinic was an abortion clinic." And she's like, "No, we don't do stuff like that. We're fertility only." They're like, "Oh, is everything okay?" And the bomb squad's like, no, all the evidence is dust and ashes, and it's gone. And unfortunately, they found out that 10,000 embryos were destroyed.
Yeah, so there's
including one woman who was supposed to get an implantation today and had been trying for 5 years.
Yeah, they're gone.
Gone. All gone. And that also includes the DNA from the case that they muted.
Yeah, it was all gone.
All gone. All done. Everything gone. Dust and ash.
Yeah. And Bruno goes to Griffin being like, "You got your wish, so now we don't have to collect this."
And he's like, "I take it all back."
Yep, it's gone. So then they kind of, all of our peoples.
Our peeps.
And then they find the bomb squad says that the bomb was in the bathroom.
Oh shit, I forgot to take a picture. I always take a picture when it's the last person's episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I gotta wait, hold on, I can do that on the there's the NBC app that you take pictures?
Probably not.
I'm doing it on my TV then.
Yeah, I was like, usually apps don't let you because copyright. Anyway, so then they kind of mix. He says like they talk about how like this was a pretty like hefty bomb here, and they kind of like name all the stuff that we composed of it. I forgot all the words. And then
it was like a lot of things, and the Velasco pretty much called it so the 4th of July in a toilet bowl.
Literally, like that bowl was explosive. But then they like had a suspect in mind, Mr. Simmons, and they were like, "This seems like a lot to cover up some evidence to have a bomb. Like that's a lot going on here."
Yeah, so they go to talk to him, and apparently he's a garbage man, and they go to talk to him, and his work partner, the guy driving the truck, leaves. Yeah. And Bruno's like, "Oh, hey, do you need a ride now?"
Yeah. down to the precinct.
So they take him down to the precinct in the interrogation room, and Velasco and Curry are doing the investigation. He's like, I want to talk to Detective Bruno. And they're like, well, it's not his case, so you're stuck with us. And so they give him a water bottle. And then the guy like,
he's like, you're not gonna trick me. He's basically like,
I know as soon as I take a drink out of that, you're gonna steal it.
Yeah, he says that. And then they're still talking to him. They do it's a really good interrogation.
They start mentioning like, oh, did you have a romantic affair with the plastic cup? Or
oh, you remind me of someone. I think he's being a little too aggressive. Someone's being a little, I think it's Griffin's being too aggressive. And then Olivia's like, you remind me of someone.
So, yeah, well, we can all assume we know who that is.
We already know who she's talking about, but he's a little too aggressive. And then that's why he has to get out. So then he's like,
he's like, they mentioned the bomb at the fertility clinic because Velasco says apparently he had a romantic affair with a plastic cup. And Simons doesn't know anything about the bomb, but he did confess to sleeping with the girl that accused him of rape, which is different than before because Bruno and Griffin are like, he said he never met the girl. Now he's saying
that he did,
he slept with her. He's slipping up.
Curry's like, here. She was like, you need to write down every person you ever been with and, talking to throughout the past couple of days. And he's so busy.
We can prove that you didn't do the bombing and everything too. And yeah, he's so busy. He all of a sudden he goes,
he chunks
with the water. And then Velasco just walks out of the room and then he goes, no, hey, wait. And he's freaking out.
He's like, snatch.
You go, guys.
That's like, you were paying attention. You should have been paying more attention. Now they got you. Anyway, so then they they got what they need. So then an officer comes and talks to Olivia, being like, hey, we found a body and we think you might, this might be your wheelhouse, so then they go to the crime scene. And Olivia talks to this guy, one of these investigators, and he's like, with AI, and I don't know if he's talking about AI, he's talking about stuff, and he's like, this is seems like the only time people come face to face is to murder each other.
Yeah, literally.
Oh.
I was like, okay, that's kind of funny though.
It's kind of but okay. So then they pull the tarp off the body, and it's the doctor.
It's the doctor. And she's in her bra, and she's got the S word.
Yes.
In regards to women, written on her chest.
Yeah. And then it looks like she had a red mark on her neck. They don't talk about it till later, but I had just saw it in looking at there. She has a very intense choking line on her neck. Then Olivia says the bomb was meant for her because it was kind of suspicious how the next day she was dead.
Yeah, they're like, what?
Well, not even the next day. Might even be the same day. Might have just been later in the day, but very soon.
Yeah. They then realized that the bomb was meant for her.
Yeah, because
she wasn't there.
Because the bathroom was on the wall of the bathroom was the other side of her office. So they found out when they were talking about the bomb. That's where they find out that. So then she owns Roosevelt Women's Health. They find out. And then they found out that the object used to choke her had a spiral pattern. And this is very important for later. That it has a spiral pattern, which is an unusual thing to use. That's why they're like, this is suspicious.
Yeah. And then they find out she's in the middle of a divorce trial.
Mm-hmm. And then she's getting divorced from her husband, and then the divorce attorney, basically is like, I can't tell you anything, even if she's dead.
And he's distraught and everything, but he's like, I'm sorry, I still can't tell you anything, even if she's dead. This is where I get to bring up Wicked, and it actually makes sense. So the divorce lawyer.
Words are hard.
played by Norbert Leo Butz, who was the original Fiyero in the Broadway cast of Wicked, and they made note of that because they had him do a little promo video for the episode, and he said it was a wickedly good episode.
Yeah, they did. I was like,
I was like, yay!
They knew what they were doing.
Yes, they do. And I told Aaron I saw him in the promo last week.
Yeah.
And then
because I think NBC kind of I think they kind of have the rights to this streaming. Yeah, they do have the rights to so that was an interesting choice to do this.
Get me all my Wicked people on the show.
It was an interesting choice to do that now because they have the right. Peacock has Wicked, and I guess NBC has the rights to the streaming version of Wicked. So yeah, so that was an interesting thing they chose to do right now.
And he did that. Well, yeah, because the next movie was coming up, so fair enough. But I told Terryn, I was like, I saw him, and then the thing came out, and I was like, I told you it was him.
Yeah.
So I was very happy about that. Where we go? So the guy is like going into the fact that her husband Clemente like drank all the time.
Yeah, so he's trying to make him look bad, and then
he said that he's a plumber, and then now a plumber. Mm-hmm. Plumber is getting like a doctor's salary, pretty much.
Yeah, because his wife is a doctor, so she's very wealthy.
So Bruno and Griffin go to talk to him, and the guy's like,
he's actually like confused, like this is like, what? I mean, like shocked that like
she's dead. What? Yeah. And apparently he said that they used all his money for her clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, so maybe he didn't do it.
Yeah.
What's this thing, an auger?
Yeah, it's like a tool that has a spiral pattern. It's what they use to stick down the drain to like get the hair and stuff out. The coily thing you stick down the drain.
Okay, that explains why they originally thought it was the plumber.
They thought it was the murder weapon because it's like a tool thing that like plumbers use. You stick it down the drain and it helps get the hair out if you have your drain clogged by hair. So like that's what that is for, and that's what they thought initially he was the suspect because they knew this tool looked a lot like. Dang it, I dropped my controller.
They even said that she was getting death threats at her house.
Yeah. At the clinic at her house, so at your house.
From
know where you are.
Anti-natalist group.
Yeah, I didn't know what this was before until right now. So,
in reductive freedom.
Yeah, basically they don't. Basically, they
should be alive.
Yeah, which is a very conflicting thing to believe in, but okay. So then this answer, because obviously because they're they don't believe in like reproduce. They don't think people should reproduce and that the human race should just die out. So then Olivia is talking to Velasco, and he's kind of talking about some stuff, and he says, "Like Olivia," he tells like the chief has been talking to him about because he did that undercover op in the last episode and stuff, and then he's like, you were supposed to go see her, right? And Olivia's like, I know I didn't go.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Handle myself.
He's like, I can take care of myself. I don't need you to worry about it. He's like, okay, fine. So I'm interested in what
they have to now he's like, I have to go talk to them.
Yeah.
And she's pretty much like, stick to it, say everything you need to say. I can handle myself.
Yeah.
Etc. Etc. Mm-hmm. So then they find out there's a protest of the anti-natalist group going on in the city, and they're literally giving out flyers of thinking the human race should go extinct, passing out condoms so life isn't made.
They're like, have you considered not having children? I think they asked somebody that.
They literally said, are you considering having children?
Have you considered not?
Convince you otherwise.
I'm like, oh.
And they said that the S side is a gift.
And you're like,
and it's like, okay,
this is interesting here. I've never heard of this movie, but anyway.
Yeah, so they find the main guy. He starts running.
Starts running. You should have started running. Don't run. We've already talked about this.
Alaska tackles him into a flower
Yeah,
bed, and it's
because
like, you know.
he's running. Oh, he initially only sees Bruno and Griffin.
And then Griffin is like, hey, we gotta talk. Shows his badge, and the guy just is like,
He sneak attacks.
run,
Yeah, and then Velasco kind of sneak attacks out and tackles him.
back up.
Yep. Okay, so then they bring the group in.
Yeah, and there's this one girl who was like, nobody asked me if I wanted to exist.
Fair
It's like,
enough. No one asked.
what?
But you know, the interview, they do a really cool camera shot though. I think I really appreciate this camera shot they did. They kind of do like a swerve under the table, and then they come up from the other table with the other group of people being interviewed, and I think that's a really cool shot that they did.
Like, what if you don't want to exist?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess some people don't, but I guess I can't decide that for other people.
Yeah, like, nobody asked me if I wanted to be born, if I wanted to exist. It's like,
I mean, they didn't, so
okay,
but I can't help you with that. So then this one girl is like very upset to Olivia, and she's very upset that
Velasco tackled the guy.
Yeah, his name is Kirk Young.
And she's like, he's such a good man. They met on Reddit, and he's in like the 999 Society and all this academic stuff. And he was in track. And Olivia's like, well, that's kind of amazing considering he couldn't outrun my detectives.
So then
they're like, one of these things is not like the other. Olivia's like, something about this guy isn't adding up. Like, why is this 50-something-year-old hanging out with a bunch of 20-year-olds?
Yeah. And then like this is the first time he ran from the police. He claims that like he
just has a disorderly conduct. He's like, oh, I'll pay the fine.
Yeah, Curry. He was like, Olivia's like, well, Curry announced herself to you so that she was an officer, so you can't use that as your excuse.
All right, got it mixed up. But this is when Olivia had Griffin with her, and she's like, okay, Griffin, just have him sign all the papers that he needs to sign, and we'll get him on his way.
Yeah.
Well, they have Griffin stand there and start talking about pretty ladies.
Yeah. He's like, what kind of protest? What are the prettiest ladies? What group has the prettiest ladies? And they kind of go on conversations about like it's very weird, but it's
the only reason this guy is doing this. So they get the girl that was like fawning over him to listen, and he goes along the lines of like, hey, which one of these causes has the hottest girls? And the guy's like, oh, you gotta go to a Blue Lives Matter rally.
Yeah, he names all different kind of groups where the hot.
And he goes and he says, he says, girls will be lining up to lick your nightstick.
That's it.
And it's like, ugh, ew.
Ew. He says some other stuff too, which is gross, but I'm like,
we realized what that meant.
Yeah, we went
And Griffin was like,
oh,
okay. And then outside they see the girl, and she's
distraught. She's distraught that this man who she is dating. She says in a moment, I think.
And then he goes, he did it. And we're thinking,
they're like, what did he do?
We're thinking she's talking about the bomb. And he's like, he did it. He killed Autumn. And they're like, what?
What are you talking about?
So then we got another case. This young girl who was in the cause, who apparently Kirk got her in the head while she was sleeping and dumped her body in the Bronx because she wanted to die.
Yeah, so he says. And they're like, how do you know that? And she was like, Kirk told me.
Yeah, and they're like, are you sure? He's just not telling you a story. And she's like, yeah, I mean, the only thing I thought was weird was, like, if you knew somebody was coming to kill you, how could you ever fall asleep?
Exactly. That doesn't make sense. So then I forgot what I was trying to say before then. But anyway, so then they go find the gun. They go looking for they go to his
RV, and the gun is literally in the freezer. And Bruno's like, got something. Frozen treat.
Oh, it's literally in a box of the freezer. Like, bro, you kept it.
And so they find Autumn's body. They do an autopsy.
Yeah, she's been at Jane Doe in the morgue. work. So like they
Yeah.
didn't know who this body was until right now.
They find her now. They do the autopsy. They find out that she was pregnant.
Yeah, which is against the cause, you know. This whole cause
Which,
is about nothing.
so, like, the guy killed her, so nobody would find out that he broke the cause and got somebody pregnant.
Hmm.
So yeah, they arrest him for that. We then get Velasco meeting with the chief.
Mm-hmm. And there was
And
some weird energies happening here. We can't
yeah,
quite figure out the weird
like the
energy.
two officers are there, and Velasco's like,
What do you want to talk about? You know,
like literally, and then the chief is like, close the door. He's like, look, I did what I did. I don't regret what I did, etc.,
Yeah.
etc., etc. And the chief is like, we just have some things to talk about. Close the door.
We all know what they talked about. We're like, this feels weird.
And then they close the door and we get a commercial break, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. So then they find out that the husband is clear because the same spiral pattern is not the same. It's a spiral pattern, but not the same spiral pattern as.
We're back to the doctor's case because
we kind of covered two things.
We're back to the bombing and the doctor's case. She was originally seeing a different divorce lawyer, Lindsay Crocker, because the other guy, Mark Olson, the Fiero, originally he refused to settle.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, okay, it's
kind of talk about there's this like strategy of like when you stretch it out.
Yeah, literally, they have Carisi go to talk to like a judge on one of his cases, and they say like there's this thing where like you delay your case long to get more money on purpose.
Yeah.
And the judge is like, oh, that can't be. Like, the guy did my own divorce proceedings. Like,
yeah, he's like, this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
And we found his office is like right like a block away
like
from
they
the murder.
originally found him in like an office, but they go to see him again, and they're like, wait, you're not.
You're not him.
No, his office is
like a block away from the crime.
Literally, his real office is a block from the murder.
Yeah, and now like, he just borrows this office. They're like, he kind of just borrows this fancy office to look good. They're like, okay, sure.
And they're starting to realize that, oh my god, this guy might have murdered his own client.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, they
talk to Carisi. Carisi comes in.
And he can't wrap his head around this. And Olivia is like,
about stuff.
Yes, and because he's a lawyer doesn't mean he's as morally upstanding as you are.
Exactly.
It's like, oh,
Carisi could not handle it. He does not like when people misuse their power for any circumstance. But
yeah, so this is when they go to talk to Carisi goes to talk to the judge, and the judge is like, he kept pushing for it to continue. He even put a lease out on her property.
Well, not a lease, a lien. Which is basically like if the court can basically like essentially be like, you have to pay this money. We're taking your house. Like you have like X amount of time. So they seize your property.
Yeah, this you don't pay. I was like, Fiero, no.
But then they say like the lawyer gets a cut of this.
Yeah,
the money they get from putting lien on a property.
So
it would be for her to have like 100. She had like $1 million house. He'd be getting like $100,000 from this. It was a lot of money.
So then Velasco comes back, and Olivia's like, "How'd it go?"
Yeah.
And he's like, she wants me to work for the DA's office. And we're like, oh, cool, new opportunity, big digs, yeah. And he's like, in San Diego. I went, excuse me?
So where are you going?
Freaking San Diego, out of all places.
Mm-hmm. Away.
And he's pretty much like, Captain, I don't want to be the one who leaves you empty-handed.
Yeah, because Finn's not back from this.
He's not back yet. And Olivia is pretty much like, I don't want you to think I stayed at SVU out of loyalty. I stayed here because it was where I could do the most good.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find where you can do the most good.
Yeah, because he was like, I feel excited actually, like doing this kind of work.
Like, he was
Uh,
like, I didn't sleep for 4 nights.
she was
Like,
like
it was like
excited for a second. She thought it was more like out of like I hate this, but then it
yeah,
was more like I had fun. Oh, yeah, the high. It wasn't a high, but like that, like joy,
like,
that spark of
it was
having
like
fun.
a rush, and it's like, well, we know because that's literally
Right.
what he was doing when he first started.
Yeah, and
So
he was
it's
undercover.
not like this is out
It
of
was
character. It just is like slightly weird.
yeah, he was like I was having fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and they mentioned he was going after a bad guy who had gains, and then he killed somebody's husband and
Yeah,
wife and kids.
yeah. This guy is a bad person, like real bad. Yeah. So, but then he was excited. He said he was having a good time, And Olivia's
It's like,
like,
this also concerns me because um we know that with his background, like, he's been in cases and stuff before.
Mhm. Yeah. So I don't know if it works for him, but like I feel like it's a lot for him to go back to that kind of like. So the fact that's how he literally grew up in the gang. He was trying not to, he had to go be an assassin and all that stuff. Yeah.
It's like, are you really excited to go back into all of this?
Yeah. None of us are questioning, but okay. But it's. I feel like they didn't. SVU, you didn't harm him in his
Yeah,
exit.
literally,
Okay,
like,
no,
he's
you did.
alive. We're
He's
good.
alive. He
He's
was not.
alive. We're
He
fine.
wasn't. He wasn't injured, and he wasn't killed. So we're okay. He didn't like. So we're okay. This is a solid, safe goodbye. But Olivia's like, I'm happy for you. If you're happy, I'm happy for you, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So then they go to Olsen's real office. And they find on one of the shelves, he very obviously has, the substance that you like snorting, those drugs, on the shelf. It's very out there, obvious. And then they find, he's like, "What are you doing? You don't have a warrant." Trying to argue them, and they pull out the vacuum.
They're
And
like,
the
dude,
vacuum,
we literally know what the fuck we're doing.
exactly. The
Um,
vacuum
they
is the
yeah,
matches.
the vacuum cord matches to the marks around their
Yeah,
neck,
yeah,
and so they bring him in. And Olivia's looking at the guy through the glass, and she goes, "A lawyer killing his client. Just when I think I've seen everything, the world proves me wrong."
yeah. There's always something new going on. You're like, you can never say this a dull day.
And then she's looking at Carisi and she's like, "How do you feel?" And he goes, "How do you feel when you have to take down a dirty cop?"
Yeah, and there's quite a few of those.
And she's like, "Not good."
These are
He's
supposed to be your people, and they're doing
exactly.
bad things.
This
Your
is supposed
people,
to be your people, not the people that are doing bad things.
yeah,
So this
like
is when so they're like, "Okay, go talk to him."
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah,
yeah.
Carisi,
It's a
yeah,
good scene. I think this is
yeah,
it's
yeah." This
such
was
a good
the
scene.
best scene of the episode, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. This was the scene of the episode. So then
Like, he
he
immediately, Carisi goes in and he calls him. He
he's
doesn't want a
like,
lawyer, and he goes,
okay,
"Oh, I've heard such big things about you, Sonny." And I'm like, "Nah, nah.
you're trying to no take
You
me
don't get to use the nickname,
no
sir."
no. Somebody tweeted that they said, "Why not Carisi? You don't know him like that." I said, you're right.
And yeah, I was like, this is literally so good. The guy recounts like this entire like case,
Yeah.
basically saying the guy was great.
Yeah, Carisi's like, so let me tell you a story. You know how he is.
Yeah, this guy
Then
was great. This lawyer was great. He did everything he needed to do, but then he fell on hard times
started doing drugs.
and started doing drugs and needed money to pay off those
There's
fees.
lots of
And
money. Drugs are expensive. That's
that
just up there.
and Carisi's voice is getting like in this like whisper. I'm like, oh my god.
It's real good, y'all. This scene, if you
This
haven't
is
gone seen it, it's
Peter.
pretty
So good.
so good.
So good.
He
And
tells the
then
story.
And then he goes, Sonny, a good story isn't a good case. And he
Yeah.
goes, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Like,
So then he's kind of like, what if,
he goes on and he's like, look, you messed up.
yeah,
Such in court as in life.
yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about? And they go, well, we found bleach and we found that
The
you
sofa.
tried cleaning your entire couch. But
Yeah.
we found stains inside the couch cushions.
Mm-hmm.
Blood.
In the couch
And the
cushions. He didn't.
doctor.
Yeah, he didn't get it in. He would clean the outside of the cushions, but not in the couch cushions. And that's how you got busted.
And he goes, this fits every story I've heard about you like a glove. Too lazy to do the job in full. Am I right, counselor? It's like,
One of my
oh.
hold on, one of my like mutuals had a really funny tweet about that. She said, "Oh, she said Carissa just called him a sloppy no neck having lazy ain't shit loser to his face." I said, "You got
It literally is true though.
it."
But it's just like crazy. It's like, yeah, hook, line, sinker. Sorry, you're done, man.
You're done.
Oh, and then we forgot to mention the fact that, yeah, he did the bomb too.
You looked up how to do it, and they said, "Bro, that's what you had. You didn't delete your search
Your
system."
freaking Google search is looking up how to make a bomb.
Exactly.
And
The
he
FBI
did
is
it.
on the FBI watch list. Like, you need to stop. Don't put that on the computer.
Did it in hoping to frame the
The group. He wanted to.
anti-analyst group.
Yeah.
Problem is, she wasn't there. So
Because
he had to go to the next plan.
which was
and
the
he was there.
husband. Which was the husband. So he thought the tool to clean the drain was similar enough to the vacuum, but not the same. But then obviously they weren't the same. So he thought he was big brain. He thought he was smart. But he came across the wrong people. The SVU, they get him every time. Yeah, so he's done.
Done. Sorry, Firo, you're going to jail.
Locked him up. Yeah. Take your deal. I'm not giving you a deal, but you probably don't want to go to trial. Yeah. You better take the day off.
Yeah, literally. You might want to start talking.
Yeah. Going to trial may not be good.
Yeah.
So there's the last scene.
The last scene is we get Velasco visiting Finn in his apartment.
Yeah. We haven't seen his apartment in a long time.
We haven't. And Finn is like, Velasco, you want to come join my Love Island watch party? We're like, what?
I'm like, that's what you're watching, Finn? But okay.
All of the things Finn could be watching, it's fucking Love Island.
Yeah, but okay.
Like, I'm going to say that Phoebe was there and they just didn't show her, and that's
who's watching it. He was like, man, yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. And then he goes in and is like, Velasco is like, I remember when we talked about doing bad things and we talked about balancing the scales.
Yeah.
But basically, the thing is, like, he's been, like, the past few months in, like, SVU, like, he hasn't been thinking about himself.
Yeah.
At all. He's kind of just been doing things. So he kind of needs to get back into balancing the scales.
Yeah.
But he wanted to first come by and say, I just wanted to thank you for everything. And Finn was like, Velasco, you don't have to say a word. I already know.
Yeah. Finn knows everything.
And then Velasco leaves, and that's that. And then, so this was, unless things change, this was Octavio's last episode. Thank you, Octavio, for everything. We love you. We love Velasco.
Yeah. Velasco. Yeah. It grew on he grew on us a lot. At first we were like, okay, but now he grew on us,
Like we have an entire ship for Velasco. So
yeah, literally. It's that actor. Yeah. It was real good.
So thank you for everything. We wish you all the best. We know you have like your movies and
he makes non-creative projects, which I haven't had time to watch it, but I will check those out at some point.
So we wish you all the best. We hope to maybe see you again.
Yeah. I guess guest stars are always open. I'm not going to feed.
Yes. So there's that. I give this episode 4 stars solely for the guest star.
I like the episode. I like the plot of the episode.
I
You know,
give this episode 4 stars solely
twisted.
for the last for the Carisi.
The twists and the turns. We have a court scene, but you had the feeling of the court already in the interrogation room. You know, it felt like, you know, a nice open and shut case. You know, we didn't like drag it on. You know, nice feels like his feet.
Yeah. So there's that. Then we got the promo that we've all been waiting for.
25 clickbait. Which I wondered why they took a long time to address this issue. This issue's been around for years, and this is the first time addressing it. But okay, called clickbait. Hold on. Open the link, please. It says when a tween suffers a life-threatening miscarriage, SVU must uncover a web of online fabrications to identify the suspect. Rollins carefully weighs her career options. But basically, they go to this big fancy school and basically somebody's been making like AI images of the students, which, you know, are minors. Hold on. Of their classmates and like they're arresting people and like it's a lot going on. It's going crazy. Yeah. And then Olivia's like, I need somebody I can trust.
And then Rollins is like,
we're
see you in the morning, boss.
No, we're not, you know, they
literally,
have this title card.
In the title card, the return of Sergeant Amanda Rollins. Like,
yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Then
it's been too damn long.
It seems like she probably was. I mean, if she came on like a casual day, because her outfit is real casual. Like she has like a sweater, like a not quite a sweater, but like a I have a top similar to this one. Mine is green.
So just as people checked, Carisi's in episode 4 too. Yeah. So yay!
We get Amanda, we get Sunny, we get Baxter. We also get
Jones, New Girls.
Yes,
we love that.
Yeah, and she says, you know, see you in the morning, boss. See you in the morning, Ross. And Olivia nods like, yeah. So Amanda's coming home next week. So we get a lot of people in next week. A lot of people in next week's episode. It'll be fun. Somebody made this. A mutual of ours, but like they put the side by side. You know, we had the goodbye, and then we had the return. So you know, we're in good spirits here about this. All right, y'all. We'll have Rollins, and we're very excited.
Also, if you watched Organized Crime last night, Carisi was in that too.
Yeah. For like 5 minutes at the beginning. If you haven't watched that whole episode, I can't pronounce that word because it's Italian and too long for me to say. But he got like 5 minutes, and we were like, bro, because we were joking about like because we didn't know the time frame of like Organized Crime at the time. They filmed it last summer, and we were like, bro, if this is too close after Cornered, we're gonna have a problem. But you know, apparently.
I love the Twitter. They're all thinking the same thing we did. Someone put, so does Phoebe still exist? Or
we're gonna talk about that, like Law and Order. We thought we wouldn't know. Your fans have evil eyes.
You're not gonna pay attention to this thing. We do. We pay attention to everything.
Eagle eyes. They're everywhere. So, like, you need to remember what we said here. Yeah, so maybe we'll get some answers one day.
Pay attention.
I know, you know, Finn is like back to work
soon.
Soon, because ICE has posted a couple of videos of him on the set, and they were filming 7, I think. So not quite soon, but like, I mean, at work soon. But I think one of the episode descriptions says like it might be 7 or so. But you know, that was that.
Yeah, so there's that. Next week will be fun. Yeah.
There's not much else to talk about. The episodes were good. Well, the mothership was okay. SVU was good.
We've decided now that we're gonna have Nolan adopt a kid again. Another kid.
If you haven't read it.
solely from that one scene of
Yeah.
Sam talking to them. I'm like, okay, we're giving him
So
we're giving them another kid now.
yeah, hurry up, our minds. So we'll write some stuff. I guess we have time to, we're chilling, vibing today. Nice
Yeah,
chill day.
for another few hours. So
Yeah, we need to play hide and seek on Hello Kitty. I've been talking about
yes.
this for like a week, but I haven't done it yet. But you would do that. We will have some fun, write some stuff. There's nothing else to talk about for real. If anything happens, well, I guess nothing will happen. We'll find out if anything crazy happens between now and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Usually nothing, but it's okay. 2 good episodes. We're getting some. USA is doing a Rollins marathon on Monday.
As they should.
They are doing a Rollins marathon. So USA, you have my heart sometimes.
Yes.
Why did that felt like I had like post nasal drip or something? I was like, what is happening?
Okay.
Anyway,
Well, that's it. Bye,
yeah.
guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to comment and like and subscribe and tell us what you think. Share with your friends, share with your enemies. I don't really share whatever you want to. Listen. And hope you have a wonderful day. And we'll see you all next time. And if you haven't heard, you are very loved, and we love you all.
Yes, we do. Bye-bye.
Bye.